Hey y'all, so Kingsman came out last week, and even though I saw it a little while ago, I still wanted to get my review out to you guys, even if we're a little late on this one, because this one is such a fun one that I can't recommend enough. If you're a history nut with kind of a love of Tarantino-esque films, this is the movie that is going to top off 2021 for you. Initially, when I heard about this movie and saw the trailer, I didn't think it was going to work. Kingsman has such a specific style that I didn't think mixing with a period piece, the type of humor that we're used to in the first two Kingsman films, I didn't think it would work. However, I think it ended up pairing so much better than I ever could have thought, and it was because of the way that this film chose to twist history a little bit and kind of have its own fun with things. Again, using that Tarantino-esque approach to real life events and finding a way to adjust that to make it work in this Kingsman universe. And while there are some things to critique here, there's also a lot to love, specifically characters in this film. And if you're a fan of the first two films, you're really gonna like the Easter eggs. So starting with those characters, I think anything involving Rasputin in this film worked perfectly. He was so funny, so inappropriate, so over the top, and he was hilarious to watch him on screen. Plus all of the fight scenes involving him, specifically the one after the dinner party, I don't want to spoil anything, it just is so over the top and exaggerated that it works with the period piece style, because his almost dance of movement and the way the camera moves as well as the setting in that action sequence just works so well with the Kingsman style that we're used to, and just merges the two together so seamlessly, specifically in those scenes. However, I also think that there are great characters. Specifically, I really liked the relationship between Ray Fiennes' character and his son Conrad. I think that dynamic, starting from when Conrad is a young boy and then seeing the way this father has chosen to raise his son, worked expertly well. I really loved it. It added a pathos to this film that I think was extremely necessary, and you got that emotional side of things that I think Eggsy and Taron Egerton's performance in the first two films is able to bring in, but here that was really the father-son relationship and the dynamic of these two men who have these opposing opinions about war and the world and their place in it, and then how they choose to go about, making their way in the world. I just thought that was the heart of the film that I think really gave a lot of support to the more outlandish and crazy typical Kingsman stuff that went on in this movie. I also felt like, as far as what this film chose to tackle, I thought there was some interesting, not profound thoughts about war. I thought it was a very just different and interesting approach to this film that I didn't know that they were going to be able to work in there. But for me, I can't say that it's something that was so profound in a way that I felt like another war movie like a Hacksaw Ridge was maybe able to raise as an issue. I think this movie did touch on a few topics, if ever so shallowly and lightly. I can't knock them for putting it in there because I think they handled it with grace. Mostly, I liked the idea of how this film chose to focus on the lost generation of World War I and the young boys and men who went to go fight to save the world from all of these insane geopolitical struggles for power. And so I think a lot of the dialogue about war and is it sweet to die for your country? Is that the ultimate sacrifice? All of that questioning I think was really just well placed within this film. And again, that goes back to the characters and the fact that once you feel for the characters, you can kind of begin to understand the way they go about things. I think the other great part of this movie that I haven't yet gotten to discuss is the parallels to the earlier two films and then those Easter eggs that I mentioned. You get to see kind of the typical Kingsman calling cards and, just tricks of the trade in terms of a knife shoe, a manners maketh man, and all of those things. I think you get to see the origins of that. Some of them work better than others. For example, there's a couple of really hidden Easter eggs regarding the second Kingsman movie dealing with the statesman, which I picked up on, and it was super excited that they had thrown that little Easter egg in there. But then there are some more obvious ones that I don't think work as well. I think the incorporation of manners maketh man for being such an iconic line from the first Kingsman, I didn't like necessarily the way that it was introduced, but I think there's a lot of really fun just Easter eggs in general that you'll get to explore in this film. I also felt like some of the plot twists in this movie, and I rarely feel this way about movies. And they're not like huge plot twists, they're more just like issues within the plot that then like the characters have to like go on to resolve. Obviously, if they got everything they wanted, the movie would end then and there. I think there are some of them, specifically the ones with Rasputin, I don't know how to say the name, I just know the song, particularly scenes with him and Conrad, that I felt like the movie almost like made a mistake, almost like it had changed. The issues that arise for these characters feel so natural, so embedded into the plot, and are so well done that you're almost like surprised that they're happening. I guess I'll just give this one away. At one point in the movie, Conrad has to switch seats with his father, which feels like a complete disruption of their initial plan to talk to Rasputin, that you feel like it has gone off script, even though this is the script of the movie that's obviously being filmed. So overall, I had such a fun time with this movie, and I hope you feel the same way. Do stay to the end because there is a little bit of like a mid-credits scene. If you are interested in that I think may potentially be setting up two different Kingsman timelines of this World War I moving forward, and then obviously the normal Kingsman that we have. Do I think it is the best of the Kingsman? No, I definitely think that is still either the first or the second one. I haven't seen them in a long time, but those are just classic and I think are a little bit more over the top, and this film didn't nearly get as brutal or fully as funny as the original two, but I think overall it's a great addition to this franchise now, I guess, that we have, and I'm really excited to see more. And whether it's in this timeline or the present day timeline, I will be watching them, I can guarantee you that. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of The Kingsman, if you did get to watch it this December, and if not, I do highly recommend checking it out if you're down for a good time, like I said before. Please also don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed this review, and if you want to see other reviews of mine for both movies and television, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an upload from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day or night whenever you're getting to watch this, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, y'all.